Well, enough of the bipolar weather. So, all right. So we're gonna get into it. So, hello, Biz Babes and Biz Buddies. Welcome to the Passion, Purpose, Profit podcast. I am your host, Allegra Jackson, and you can find me on LinkedIn, of course. Everybody that has a business has LinkedIn, or you better have. Or you can follow my social media accounts at Allegra Jackson CEO on Facebook and on Instagram. So, this podcast is an extension of AJCEO, which is a membership based business coaching group created to mentor women in all walks of life to master the skills of starting and building a business with key factor marketing techniques, a nationwide networking platform, which is awesome, and brand building tools for learning how to become an organized and effective CEO. We all know that running a business is like the most important thing is you want to be very organized. Oh my God.
Very organized.
Very organized. So that's what AG CEO is here for. And also the goal is to empower women to thrive in business and highlighting how women contribute to the growing economy and the struggles women often face in starting and building a business. So today we are hitting the ground running because for our first episode, I have a very, very special guest. So her name is Dana May. Say hello to the Biz Babes and Biz Buddies, Dana.
Hello.
So the topic for our session today is focused on post-pandemic struggles, mental health, and social norms that affect women CEOs today. So 2020 has been a crazy year, y'all.
It certainly has a lot of changes for everyone across the board, it seems like.
Like, a lot.
Yes.
We can't even elaborate on it right now. I think we have to take a whole nother year of podcasting to get all that out of the system. But we're going to talk a little bit about it today. We just really want to make sure that we talk about, how women have really struggled through this time, but we're still thriving out here. And so with Dana as my special guest, I just want to introduce her to you guys first. So Dana is a graphics design and multimedia specialist, y'all.
Yes.
That is super cool. A multimedia specialist. She's also the owner of Bird Box Creative Space. You guys have to go check out her website. It is super awesome. She graduated from the University of Florida with a BFA in graphics design.
North Florida.
Oh, University of North Florida. Oh,
a lot of people do that.
You know what? I went to UF. I don't even know why I said that. So, slip of the tongue, y'all. She graduated from University of North Florida, UNF, with a BFA in graphic design and digital media. And she has a, what was it? Was it something else that I'm missing in that? It's just the BFA in there, right?
Just the BFA
Just
right
the BFA,
now.
okay. And then also, just so you guys know, what makes Dana so special is that she has been my day one A1 sister in business when it comes to AJCEO. I had this huge idea about helping women business owners, and
Yes.
I had, a lot of motivation. I went through a lot of research development phases, a lot of pilot planning, and Dana kind of just came aboard and said, hey, I'll help you do whatever, in your business. And she has been my A+. So she is a very special guest for me. And I'm looking forward to having her, in my business life for a very, very long time. I just love her spirit. So I just want to kind of let Dana tell you a little bit about herself. But before we get into that, Dana.
Yes.
Should we tell them how we met?
Absolutely. Go. Why don't you start? We've known each other for several years now. It's been a while.
Right. We've never done business before, but we knew each other from, well, initially, what was it? You were living
Cambridge
on
Park.
property.
Yeah.
And I was working as a property manager.
Yes.
And you were one of my better residents. Like, you were my best one, among maybe two other people.
Well, I have to tell you, you were our favorite property manager because you always, no matter what our problem was, you were right there with us, empathizing with us, and you solved it the same day. So I have to say, like, you, me and my neighbor Chris, you, like, saved us so many times.
Oh, Chris was awesome, man. He was a funny guy, too.
He really is.
He was a funny guy. But, yeah, I mean, like, we've had, we've definitely, we haven't kept in touch the whole time, but we definitely knew each other for a couple of years back then. And then you moved, and then you came back to Jacksonville, and then we reconnected. And now it's been a few years later. We're both in different positions in our lives. We're both entrepreneurs, and now in this light, there are a few different, things that we've encountered right along the way, and we've kind of talked about those things.
Yes.
But go ahead and, tell our audience a little bit about yourself, and how you became an entrepreneur.
So my name is Dana May. I recently actually changed my name from Brittany Dana Palmer to Dana May as a start of a fresh start with my business, actually. I have, back in September, I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and so relating to the mental health, that's what really sparked me to start my own company. My circumstances at the time and just what I've learned since then of what actually is going on with my mental illness has made me realize there's so many women out there who they just don't have resources, they're not connected, they don't know where to turn to, and also they feel really alone. I spent about a decade not knowing what was going on until recently. So that is why I started Bird Fox Creative. I want to create a nonprofit that can serve not only creative needs of entrepreneur women, but any type of nonprofit need. Say there's a woman struggling and she needs some type of graphic to ask for help on social media. I want to be that person. So I have, Allegra knows, but I have my own huge vision for my own business, and right now I have the pleasure of helping her with different graphics or logos or style tiles and just getting together branding for other women. And basically, that's my passion, that's my purpose, is just helping other women, helping people with mental illness, helping educate, helping spread awareness, and encouraging other like-minded individuals to do the same.
Oh, yeah, you do that. You definitely do that. Like, Dana has already worked with a couple of my clients, and, well, one of the clients so far, but she has another call coming up, and she's definitely been changing some lives out here. Like, I mean, just, yeah.
I love connecting I just love connecting with your client. So far, it's working with passionate women to serve a passionate vision. There's nothing like it. There really isn't.
Absolutely. It's all about fulfilling your passion. I definitely love your story. Mental health is a big thing. I feel that we don't touch enough on in our conversations when it comes to our business. And, women, we're already kind of, in the ranks, right? Like, we don't get the same resources as men do already in society and in our business and in the industry in itself. So then you have other things, we deal with, the social norms and expectations, and then you're dealing with stress and mental anguish. It's a lot. It is a lot.
Yes.
I know that recently, when you did speak to someone at the business and you were helping them with their logo design. Yes. And something came up in that conversation that you could relate to. with her as a business owner dealing with family members with special needs, and tell us a little bit about that.
It's so wonderful when I get to relate to a client. I have a sister who's high functioning autistic, which she's a genius in her own right, and she has so many talents and skills, but as far as her responsibility level, she's about at 13. So right now, she lives with my dad, and he takes care of her, and she does her own thing and has her own world. But growing up with someone and then later being diagnosed myself, it really highlights a lot of the failures our society has. We aren't so much a community, but a bunch of individuals kind of operating alone. We kind of, somehow that community feel just got lost. And so I really related to the client with her own, experience with having an autistic family member, because, those challenges it feels like not only are you alone in it, but the entire society doesn't understand. And so, she's like speaking to my heart, because I'm like watching my sister go through her struggle, going through my own struggle. Like, I really have a feel for your brand. It all wrapped back to that, where I could see her vision so clearly.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And her vision was for a learning center for her child, because her child was, like you said, special needs, autistic, and really had a hard time at the school that they were going to that had no inclusion program.
Right.
And so with, her being in a position, even, the owner of the school had an autistic child. So it was just very, very, like, speaking to what you're saying. Like, we just lost that value of just catering to those needs. And so she was motivated and said, hey, look, I'm going to open up my own learning center.
Tenacity.
And within 2 days, she had a full business plan ready for me. So
yes, and it's such a well thought out business plan too. Just looking at it for inspiration for the graphics, she, her heart and soul is in that. You can tell.
You could tell. Mm-hmm. And so, we talk about those struggles as women, and I know that that's, common across the board. We all go through them. No one's any different.
No one's unique. We all have our
to the
own
struggle
experiences, but we all, I feel, we go through the same level of challenges, even though they can be drastically different.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And that's why we're talking about them, because we're like, we need to talk about this.
It's time for us to talk about, these issues. They affect us in so many ways, but we've had this silence over these issues for so long where we don't talk about it. And that's what I love about you, because, it's not just business. It's also community. Mm-hmm. It's also taking care of each other. It's working together as a team.
Yeah. Well, I mean, women, if you think about our history, like we, started in the work field later than men. And, so women, we are more likely to build more businesses than men are now.
Right.
Because we kind of started a little bit later. Like, we're still in that phase where we're like, hey, like, we understand now that we can actually own our own fate. Like, we own our own business and create our own legacies. And so we're just like, let's build another business and build another business, let's build 3 more businesses. So I'm a multipreneur. I'm on that path, and I love that motivation to want to have my own, and own it. You have one life. Don't waste it, right?
I know.
So talking about struggles, like, there's so many things that we can elaborate on, but, I really just want to, focus on the mental, the health part. Yes. So we really know that that's a really big thing for it. So tell us a little bit, like, how you overcome those challenges. Like, what are the things that, really work well for you and keep your mind steady and focused on what's really important? Like, what works for you?
So for me, what I have found to work over the years is what I was finally diagnosed with is treatment-resistant bipolar disorder, which means every few years, no matter what I've done that's working, it will stop working, and I go through a period of decompensation where basically my mind kind of not quite a nervous breakdown, but it basically falls apart and I have to build back up again.
Right.
And so during those times, I've tried to structure my life so I have security. But, I tell you what, living with this has been a challenge because it's only been recently that I can tell which things do consistently work.
Yeah.
Before it was every couple of years, it just seemed like, oh, I failed again.
Yeah.
But in reality, I was still pulling together all the pieces that I needed to move forward. And what works for me today is always maintaining a certain level of peace and serenity.
That part.
I was like, above
get there.
everything else that I try to meditate by driving can be meditative, cleaning can be meditative, walking can be meditative for me.
Cleaning?
Yes.
Ooh, that right there.
Just that organizing your physical surroundings, it really helps you organize your mental.
Yeah.
And it is, every couple of months, I'll completely, wherever I'm living, house, apartment, whatever it is, I'll take a whole room and completely reorganize the entire thing.
Oh, I thought I was the only one that did that. No. I'm like, wait a minute, I just reorganized this room 5 weeks ago. Yes. I'm going to do it again.
And so what I found is with this bipolar, I go through these cycles, and actually for my hypomania and manic cycles, that is the best thing I can do. Is the more meditation I can do, the more organizing I can do, the more stability I actually bring to my mind, and the more serenity I feel. And it's, I have also my own beliefs about, God and higher power and all that too, which of course ties in, but keeping my peace of mind is more important than trying to frantically do every single thing possible in one day. Mm-hmm. And that's something I have to guard myself against.
Let me just get through this one day.
I can do just one more thing, and I have to be very careful of that.
I tell you what, one thing that my fiance really has a key thing with me is if you make me mad, I'm going to clean because it's going to help me get, it's going to help me feel better. So, sometimes I think he used to do it on purpose. Like,
I'll be in an argument and just start tidying up.
Yeah. Like, he'd be like, you make me sick. I'm going to go ahead and clean this up.
Like, look what you made me do.
Move this around. But, yeah, I mean, like, you do. And I think that's just, I don't know if every woman feels that way. But I know my mother has done it, Be like, the room is spotless. You must be mad today. So, it's definitely something. And I love that. I like a clean house.
Well, and it's a really constructive way to channel that energy because before I really knew myself and what worked for me and what gave me that peace, I would do all sorts of things that just didn't work for me and mischannel my energy, get irritated, frustrated, try to do more, burn out. And hey, a clean house is not a bad thing.
Yeah. But what I also want to attribute to what we're talking about is about, how women contribute to society. There's a quote that I have, and it's actually on the website right now. If you go to AJ CEO or Allegra Jackson CEO.com, it is women entrepreneurs are the largest contributor to almost half of America's economic values when it comes to business ownership, business management, and entrepreneurship, yet lack the same access to financial resources and advancement in a male-dominated society. Now, I don't know where I got that quote from, but it was good, so I stole it. And I definitely feel that speaks a lot of volumes about it. I did a lot of research about this, building AJ CEO, and just really was thrown back by, the wealth of information about how women are just undervalued in the industry and in business. And, there's a lot of us now. Like,
it's a lot. Like, you don't realize it.
We are out
once
here.
You look into it, there's a lot.
So, being as though we're so, we're growing and we're still underrepresented out here, guys. Like, I really want to bring some things to the light. So we are more ambitious than men, just so you guys know. No, man, we're not knocking any men down over here. We're here to support everyone.
We're elevating women.
We're here to support everyone, but we just want to bring out some facts that are really key to why we established AJCEO, why it's important for us to just talk about these things, encourage the young women to really be active participants in changing these numbers. We have a lot of young girls out there that are owning their businesses at young ages, right? So if you are a young girl, 14, 15, 16, 12, whatever, and you feel ambitious enough to start a product that you are really passionate about, like God gives you things, visions at a very early age sometimes, and you feel like, hey, like I like doing this and I like doing that. And you may be doing it without even knowing it. Like my little sister at a young age, she was like, yeah, I like, I'm just going to start selling this candy. And a lot of kids do it, right? Like they're like, I'm going to stay selling candy at school. That's their first, entryway into entrepreneurship, right? Yeah. So as parents, we should be nurturing that. Like we should really be digging really deep into, giving them, finding the right tools and resources for them at an early age so that they can really grow in their understanding of, how to actually like take those products that they love and hone in on those skills, right? Like we're going to school for mathematics and stuff, but, can I get some business tools, please?
I agree with that.
So we're definitely underrepresented. It also says that women entrepreneurs are also less likely than men to display overconfidence when evaluating the track record of their business. Almost 2/3 of male entrepreneurs were more likely than women to state that their business was prospering, despite the fact that the women-led business study reported higher profits in comparison. So they're lying, y'all. Like men are saying that their businesses are making so much money, and we're just being kind about it. Like,
and I get that because I also think as women we really struggle with having belief in our businesses too. And like I know for myself, like that's something I'll go through waves where I get discouraged and I lose that overconfidence and But at the end of the day, we're a lot more honest about where our business is at.
We're so honest. Like, we're just like, no, we don't make $100,000 this year. No, I didn't make that. But men are like, yeah, like, how do, not all, but, how do I, say this without making it look that low? Like, so we have people that are really pushing the numbers. And a lot of women I notice in organizations, like, and I've done this, if a decision or a risk in my business affects the livelihood of someone that works for me or someone that works with me, I'm going to feel a little bit less amped to go do it, right? Like that risk is a little too high for me because I'm more empathetic about the livelihood of that person. Like I'm like, well, I'm here to not just make money and put it in my pocket.
View them as a statistic.
I also want to help people, live their lives and be good citizens in society and all this great stuff. You can't do that with, when I'm over here taking advantage. So, when it comes to the risk of an employee or something like that, and you don't have to take that high risk, firing a whole bunch of people just to save a couple dollars.
Right.
Then, we're a little bit more empathetic to that. But even though we still thrive. Like
it's because of that, I think, because we care about, humans are so often viewed as statistics or another cog in the wheel. And, I think as women, we don't, especially entrepreneurs, we don't view humans that way. We don't view them as just another statistic. We view them as, we see the relationships, we see the business, we also see the humanity in it.
Yep.
And we know that it's a connection of people. It's not a machine, we're not like this crazy machine of people.
Yeah, we're not AIs. So
exactly.
So despite all of you sci-fi people out there, but at the end of the day, you're right. Like we definitely have a one-up in this industry right now, and that's why I really want us to start getting the money. Like, I mean, as women entrepreneurs, some women don't like that word, entrepreneurs. We're like preneurs. But, you know, galpreneurs, solopreneurs, multipreneurs, whatever you are, you know, we need to start looking more at where we're getting our money, because we spend a lot of time investing in ourselves, and you know, we won't go for the funding. Sometimes we just don't know where the funding is, right?
A lot of the time,
yeah.
Yes.
Go to your local SBA, Small Business Association, or Small Business Administration, and, you know, start asking questions. They have free, they have people, not free, but they have volunteers there.
Oh, nice.
You know, volunteers that have to offer themselves to you for free. They can't charge you anything, right? They give you free business advice, and you know, go there, set up appointment with your local chapter or your SCORE chapter, and start talking about how you can get money in your company. Like, start out with your business plan, of course, right? Make sure you have a good plan of action. Like, nobody's going to fund you if you don't know what the heck you're doing or what you want to do. But you know, passion first, you know, purpose second, profit last, right? You have to know what your purpose is. You got to know what your why. So venture capitalists, I just want to speak to some venture capitalists right now, right? Like, there's some really, really important venture capitalists out there that are, you know, including diversity funding, helping a lot of women entrepreneurs and underprivileged entrepreneurs just get in the bucket, like, you know, because their money usually isn't there all the time.
Right.
So they even did a study. Like, I was listening to one of my favorite podcasts. It's I don't even remember, venture capitalists and women venture capitalists, something like that, right? I just always listen to podcasts. I love podcasts, clearly. But but I was listening to this podcast, and she's talking about, you know, how only 40% of venture capitalist companies are doing diversity funding. So that means that the rest of them, 60% out there, aren't even thinking about us. So all that money is going to who? White, male business owners. What are we doing? Like, it's just ridiculous. So let's start, you know, we need to start being more about, like you said, being more about being human beings and helping one another, and things like that. So Dana, tell everybody where they can find your work.
So you can find my work. Honestly, feel free to reach out to me via email, which is, I guess, should I spell it out?
Yeah.
It's Brittany Dana, IBrittanyDana @iCloud.com. It's kind of long. And I also have my website, which is birdfoxcreative.space. And it's not .com, it's .space. So don't add any .coms after that. It's a little bit different.
That is amazing. That is amazing. And we're just really like, we at our company are really appreciative to have Dana, but I myself am very grateful to have you here, Dana, on the show today to talk about this with me.
Thank you so much for inviting me. You honor me. I love supporting your business, and I love seeing what you come up with next.
Who knows? Right now, we're just going to focus on, you know, helping and supporting women. And I just want to, you know, thank Simply Smart Text for sponsoring this broadcast. It's, you know, basically what we do is we want businesses that are all about helping and supporting women, and Simply Smart Text is one of those companies. I just love what they do. They hang TVs. They, you know, curate your smart home. If you're trying to get your home ready for the holidays and you want all your lights to come on when you say come on, and you want to look at your TV up in the sky, they're the people to call. So go to www.simplysmarttext.com, or you can call them at 904-729-1651. And, you know, make sure you tell them that you heard them on the Passion, Purpose, Profit podcast. And we also have 2 giveaways, guys. So this is going to be really, really fun. So this is part of our AJ CEO. It's part of our AJ CEO virtual coaching business And we're going to be doing a virtual launch party on December 11th at 8 p.m. Yes, they know.
I gotta write that down.
Launch party. So grab your glasses, grab your libation and your champagne. I'm going to be having bourbon.
I love you. You're great.
It's a Friday night. We're quarantined.
Yes.
Let's party together, y'all.
Absolutely.
Let's party together. So it's gonna be so much fun. So I have some really like amazing giveaways, and this is let me tell you, I bought these giveaways like a while back. So I've been waiting to give these things away, right? Okay, so and they're very special giveaways because they're promoted take that back. They're not promoted. They're offered through two wonderful womenpreneurs who are just out here running the industry streets, y'all, and making money and thriving, and they're helping other women, they're supporting other women. So the first one is the B1 t-shirt by I'm Latoya. You can find her on social media at I'm Latoya or www.imlatoya.com. She is a CEO of iHeart Hair. Well, she actually is the owner, not CEO. She's also a motivational speaker and a marketing executive. If you look at her profile, guys, it says marketing maven. I love when people like give me these niche titles. I love it. So she's a marketing maven. She is the owner of iHeart Hair, which is a flourishing luxury hair extension business. She has had years of success in the virgin hair industry. So if you are looking to get into the industry and you want to have a mentor in that fashion, she also has a virgin hair blueprint consulting business that she can help you get into the business as well. So I think she's amazing. She's also a professor. She teaches. She helps the youth. So she's a boss, y'all. Like she's really a boss. Yeah. And she's also my mentor. So she always gives me some really good advice on business. And this is pretty much probably why we started AJ CEO, like initially, because if I didn't have mentors through my dealings with business, I would be lost, y'all. Like I would not have any clue. Like you can go to school, you can read, but when you have someone give you like this personal experience of like, I've done it and I can help you do it, or might not want to do it that way, or that's ugly, or someone that can give you some really good business advice. That's what you need. So Latoya Dixon has been that to me, and so if you guys are interested in winning the giveaway, make sure you go to allegrajacksonceo.com and be one of the first 2 subscribers, and you will automatically be given or shipped out the first giveaway, which is the B1 t-shirt. And we also have another giveaway, which is super amazing as well. It is an intention and manifestation gift box. Intention and manifestation gift box. Ooh, girl. Get ready for the new year, y'all. Oh, my goodness. So this giveaway is from Siobhan Monique, which is the founder of Just a Girl from Kansas. She is a philanthropist and a first-generation entrepreneur. So, this is big for her. Of course, when you're first generation, anything that is legacy. And her mission is to celebrate women in and from Kansas City. Her purpose is to empower a sense of pride and belonging of where she came from. And her goal is to share a portion of proceeds from her passion and organization, her life's work organization, which is Show Me Shoes Foundation, which is also owned, founded in partnership with Anika Jenkins, which is one of my favorite people in the world. Almost, she's amazing. So they partnered up, and they both have Show Me Shoes Foundation, which is a nonprofit organization. So make sure you guys check that out. Go to www.showmeshoes.org and check that out. So we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Again, guys, make sure that you come and join us for the launch party on December 11th at 8 p.m. And the way that you can get entry in there, just make sure you go to the website and request a link for the the party, so you guys can come and party with us. So thank you guys for joining us. Thank you, Dana, for being here again. And again, thank you, Simply Smart Text, for sponsoring this podcast. And we are Passion, Purpose, Profit, and we're